Serious for LSU after this game with Lipscomb. Its conference play begins, and it is a onslaught of SEC. Look at that schedule for LSU to start the league. My gosh. And it all starts right here at Auburn on December 29th.
That is the short straw.
We'll find out a lot about LSU in the next few weeks. Well, that's the third three-pointer by Murray State that's halfway down the cylinder and kicks out. And then a foul on Hannibal on the loose ball. And for Hannibal, that'll be his third.
Well, KJ Williams, 31% for Matt McMahon on the year. So, I mean, he's certainly not an elite shooter, but he can make that shot, and he's so wide open because Kessler is so far off of him.
Green kicks it back out. It'll belong to Auburn with 9 on the shot clock.
I thought there were like 19 near turnovers in that possession.
So you're saying it wasn't very smooth?
It was not very clean.
Flanagan back on the floor. Jabari Smith takes a seat for a moment. Boy, Murray State hoping for the shot clock violation, and they don't get it. Instead, it's a three by Auburn. Green from half court. Are you kidding me?
Just like they drew it up.
Oh my gosh, what just happened?
Well, I guess I can say, dear Santa, please let this go in. Shot clock dwindling, lines it up. Oh, he stared it down too, didn't he?
That's crazy. And it gives Auburn their largest lead of the night at 14. KJ Williams spins, fires, answers back with a three-point opportunity on the way.
Well, let me tell you what KJ Williams did right then. He recognized that Kessler was not on the floor. And he's got a different guy guarding him. And he's going, hey, I think I can take this dude.
Finally got some breathing room. The 6'10 junior out of Cleveland, Mississippi, down in the Delta. Two-time All-OVC first-team member. He's twice been named OVC Player of the Week. He and Brown have kind of dominated that award first 6 weeks of the season. Berman!
Oh, my goodness.
They don't ask how, they just ask how many, right?
Back-to-back 3 balls.
Scoop shot by Williams doesn't go.
Oh, you got to shoot that, don't you?
I know I would have. Now, I probably would have missed it, but I definitely would have shot it. Knocked out of bounds. Boy, Green holding that hand like he got popped.
One of the things that has been impressive about Auburn this year is they're winning the arc. Look at how many they're making, and then that bottom one, the three-point differential from the arc. Almost 9 points a game. So you're starting almost 9-0 to start the game when you play Auburn.
The first basket of this season for Allen Flanagan off an inbounds as he kisses it off the window. Boy, Brown pushed toward that baseline, threw it off the side of the backboard.
But Bruce Pearl is happy at Flanagan. I can tell you who that clap was for, because Flanagan chased Brown off the line and then turned around and chased him to the baseline Tevin Brown getting a rare breather on the bench for Matt McMahon.
Flanagan had it knocked out of his hand. A foul against Hannibal, and that'll be number 4 on Trey. Timeout on the floor.
Nothing like having great clock awareness. Wendell Green with the clock dwindling. Nothing but bottom from midcourt.
Academy Sports and Outdoors has the gifts to make this your most fun Christmas ever. From game tables and grills to apparel and sneakers, we've got everybody covered this holiday. Merry Christmas from everyone at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
The holidays are in full swing, and you can feel the magic in the air.
Especially at T-Mobile. Let's go to Diane.
Can you tell us what's happening?
Yeah, I got the awesome new iPhone 13 Pro and AirPods, and T-Mobile's paying for them both. Oh, and I get a free year of Apple TV Plus.
Upgrade to the iPhone 13 Pro and AirPods, both on us, only at T-Mobile.
And this is for new and existing T-Mobile and Sprint customers, like me. Back to you. Hello?
We're going to T-Mobile.
Introducing the first stain worthy of the yellow tag. New Yellowwood Protector semi-transparent stain and water repellent. Find a Yellowwood dealer near you.
The loveliest village on the plains as we approach Christmas. Happy holidays to everybody out there. I hope you get everything you were hoping for, and then some. How's Mary doing her shopping, by the way, Mark? How's she handling that?
I don't know. I'll let you know.
Yeah, that's right. I'll ask you how she grades out, right?
We've had some fun with having a little Dear Santa on the SEC Christmas wish list. So I lump these 4 teams together. Make more threes, meaning their shooting percentages from the three-point line could go up a little bit. And when we take a look across the league at other items, how about some free throw help? Tennessee needs to shoot more free throws. A&M and Bama need to make a higher percentage. And then we've got another group that's kind of find the shooting stroke, having trouble scoring at times, Missouri, Vandy, and Ole Miss. And then lastly, kind of a mixed bag. Auburn needs better rebounding. They've done that tonight, as well as Georgia on the glass. And Mississippi State's got to do a better job guarding the arc, and Carolina's got to have fewer giveaways. So, dear Santa, can you please deliver these on Christmas Day for these head coaches?
I would say that Bruce Pearl's got to be happy with the way his team has rebounded the basketball tonight. They have 33 rebounds. They have kept Murray State under 20.
Dave, let me ask you this question. You've done a lot of Auburn and Tennessee games over the years with Bruce Pearl. When was the last time he sat down during a game?
That's a great question. Maybe when he was having some knee problems. That would have been 5-6 years ago, perhaps. Moving much more fluid now is Coach Pearl.
Yeah, certainly good news for Bruce Pearl and his whole staff to see Alan Flanagan back on the floor. Murray State got a lift with Collins making that 3-ball. They need to get him more involved.
Mark, you've coached for a while. You've been around the game a long time. How long will it take before Auburn gets into a rhythm with Flanagan back?
Yeah.
I mean, is it a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks? How long does that process take?
Well, how long does the non-conference take if you were doing everything according to Hoyle? I mean, it would take you at least 2 or 3 weeks, right? So I think it's the same kind of time frame. Certainly the rotations change a little bit as you take a look at Flanagan's numbers. And, he's on a lot of people's draft lists in terms of late first round, middle of the second round. I certainly think he's going to have a chance. But he's not going to get, Dave, from 0 to 25 minutes in one game, 1 week, probably not 2 weeks. So he played 6 minutes in the first half. We'll see how many he plays in this half as well. But it's going to be an adjustment for the backcourt players more than the front court.
You know, you just think, Auburn's played, this is their 12th game of the season, obviously, and guys get comfortable in their roles, and now things are really going to change with each game because he's getting more and more minutes, and you want him on the floor, right. There's no question. I mean, he obviously could be a 15, 18-point scorer a game for you. But you're about to hit the, you start with LSU next week.
I'll worry about the roles later. To me, the bottom line is he will make them better. And I think you and I are on the same page. We might, if you ask me what team do I think is built to go the furthest in the tournament, as you take a look at not only those two players, but across the SEC in terms of prospects. But if you ask me what team is built to go the furthest in the NCAA tournament, my usual answer to that is, well, how many different ways can teams win games? And I think right now Auburn can win games in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, I agree with you. They're hard to stop. $14-point advantage for the Tigers. Another one in and out for Murray State.
Boy, it's the Carnival rim down there on our right.
Kessler looking for the jam. Tevin Brown comes over to stop that, but fouls in the process. That'll be number 2 on Brown.
In transition, the little drag screen. Kessler rolls, nifty little pocket pass by Green. Do you know how impressive that is, though, Dave, for a big guy to be on the move like that and catch a pocket pass? That pocket pass is a bounce pass that comes off the floor. So for a big guy, they don't like to look down and catch passes. They want it in the numbers. That's really impressive by Kessler. Kind of a danger zone for Murray State, I think.
Shot clock at 5. Williams steps inside the arc, left it short, rebound to Green. Boy, Green has grabbed a lot of long rebounds. That's number 9 for him tonight. It takes it the distance.
I like the way Green read the traffic in transition. I think he wanted to lob it to Kessler, but the defender never committed to him. Good decision.
Largest lead of the game. Brown trying to answer back.
Goodness, is he fun to watch.
21 tonight.
He had a double-double 4 years ago to this day in this same arena when Murray State played Auburn. Now, Murray State had a little bit of a different point guard back then. This guy named Ja Morant, I think.
Yeah, he can play a little bit. Kessler with the tap in. Brown had it taken out of his hands by Green. Green now with 9 rebounds and 11 points.
Just so disruptive has Flanagan been guarding Brown. Really messes up the timing of the Murray State offense.
Kessler just goes up over Burns for that rebound. Oh, trying to alley-oop to Smith. That have brought the house down. Wendell Green having a heck of a second half here.
Well, Green wants to pass it. Look him seam eye it. Kessler, the defender never comes to him. He cashes in at the rim.
you listen to the TV on high volume or have trouble hearing conversations? Then you would benefit from hearing aids. Don't waste thousands on expensive hearing aids when you can get Nano's revolutionary technology for just $297. Don't be fooled by higher-priced hearing aids. The CIC Recharge is a true hearing aid, not an amplifier. With rechargeable technology, many customers say is superior to more expensive models. Call now and get not one, but 2 Nano hearing aids for just $297. Plus, we'll add a portable charging case and ship your order absolutely free. The CIC Recharge has a tiny in-the-ear canal design that is nearly invisible. Why keep missing out on important conversations or waste thousands of dollars? Call and get 2 CIC Recharge hearing aids for only $297 and free shipping.
800-256-2957. Again, that's 800-256-2957.
Big night of SEC hoops. How about Oscar Tshiebwe continues to be a force to be reckoned with. 14 points, 22 boards. Kentucky roller right now. And remember Justin Powell? Yeah, you better. Vols got him on skates. Puts him up 24-11. A rout in Knoxville so far.
24 rebounds. Remember Western Kentucky bringing a guy in at 7'5". Be careful what you wish for if you're Rick Stansbury, right?
You know what I call Tshiebwe? He's a rebounding Pac-Man because he just gobbles everything.
I mean, well, we talk about how can you affect the game, right? Some way, somehow. If it's not scoring, where else can you do it? Watch 22 and White.
Yeah, see him chase that dribble handoff that led to the scrum, the turnover. Green gets the points, and he'll probably get the steal, but Flanagan was the disruptive force. And, you know, you don't always have to score. I can't convince any player of this, but you don't have to score in order to impact the game, believe it or not. Oh, here's Murray with a little zone. A little matchup 2-3.
K.D. Johnson gets it to Kessler. Jabari just elevates for 3. You could tell he kind of forced that one up. He's had a somewhat of a quiet night. Scoop shot won't go. Tapped around a couple of times, and Smith pulls it out of there. His 8th rebound. Jabari with 10 points, now 8 boards, couple of assists.
Well, when you talk about Smith and Kessler, they can either one or sometimes both give you double-doubles on any given night.
Boy, Green just so patient.
Oh, how about Green using the offhand? But guess what, Dave? How many feet did he play off of?
2.
Thank you.
Battling for the loose ball.
You are a quick study.
I'm learning. That's how you get it done. Hill, step back, off the mark. Burn the rebound. Williams, too strong, but fouled in the process.
Take another look at Wendell Green. Playing off 2 feet, but he shoots it with his left hand. Might have gotten away with a carry there. That's pretty crafty and creative.
Yeah. How about 13 and 10 for Mr. Green? Transfer from Eastern Kentucky.
Not bad for a guy 5'11".
His 8th game at double figures, including 4 straight now.
Back to the zone. Yeah, I'm never a fan. I'm sorry, Dave. I'm never a fan once you hesitate. Don't shoot.
It'll stay with Murray State. Murray State beat Memphis earlier this year, 74-72. They've won 7 straight after a loss to East Tennessee State, their only loss of the year.
They made 10 second-half threes in that comeback at Memphis.
Timeout taking by Auburn as Jasper got tied up. We'll step aside. 5:50 to go in this one. Auburn in control by 19.
Complete nutrition made simple. Very simple. It's for those of us looking for one thing with all the best things. 75 vitamins, minerals, and whole food sourced ingredients. 1 scoop, 1 glass. Comprehensive and convenient daily nutrition made for just about everybody. AG1 by Athletic Greens. Welcome to Essentialist Nutrition.
What do you think? I think you're going to talk to American Financing. Peyton Manning?
When you refi with American Financing, you're going to save $1,000 a month.
You know how much that is over 30 years?
He's not that good at math.
I'm not. It's enough to send 4 kids to college.
We're having 4 kids?
Oh yeah, all at the same time.
This is my future?
It is. Good luck.
Start planning for your future today with American Financing.
Anybody that wants to maximize their workout, anybody that feels that their energy reserves are not what they used to be, True Niagen slowly builds energy in your cells. It's like beast mode for your cells. I'm Shannon Sharp, and I'm a true believer.
War Machines. Play online with your friends. Destroy your enemies. Experience massive battles. Available on the App Store and on Google Play.
Well, the SEC Network has Alabama and Georgia covered on New Year's Eve for the college football playoff semifinals. Coverage begins 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central. Wraps up after the Orange Bowl with SEC football final. Of course, we'll be breaking down both games, have reactions from coaches and players. Nobody will cover it like we do right here on the network.
Dave, I want to ask you this about the semifinals. I'm not going to ask you if Alabama and Georgia can win. That's too simple. Can either team lose?
Oh, well, certainly. I think it's for an Alabama team, can they run the ball well enough? They've had some injuries in the backfield. But what they did in the second half, really from the second quarter on against Georgia, the championship game, showed me that is a team that is certainly refocused on the task at hand. And Georgia's got to get some better quarterback play, I think. There's a nice jumper from K.J. Williams, top of the key.
All I know is this. If you're going to win it all, you better score. And you know how I feel about defending and rebounding. Yeah. I think the same is true in football. You're not going to win the national title 17-13. Not going to happen.
Yeah. You're not going to win this game 17-13 either. As Auburn lead back up to 18.
Makes it look awfully easy at times, doesn't he?
Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a big fan. Watching him in State Farm Arena with Kevin Durant, Charles Barkley in attendance. Jabari Smith was really, really good. And how many times have we seen, not first of all, nice pass there to Kessler, but how many times have we seen a young freshman, 18 years old, in that kind of environment with those guys watching, go 2 for 14 and lay an egg?
Right.
He didn't.
And he's playing against not only older players, but maybe the oldest group of players that college basketball has ever had because of the COVID redo.
Right. Let's see what Murray State can do with 3 opportunities here on this possession. Auburn has matched their biggest lead of the night at 20. Devin Brown. Boy, he gets hammered on the way to the basket. Couldn't tell who got him. Was that Kessler or Cambridge? Either way, he took a shot. They're going to give it to Cambridge.
Early in his career, Tevin Brown just kind of roamed around the arc. And when we talked about at the top of the show for Matt McMahon's team, he has evolved. His offensive game has evolved. He can now score off the bounce, get to the rim. He can get to the free throw line. And when you can score in a variety of ways, guess what? You lead the league in scoring. And that's exactly what Tevin Brown is doing.
Pretty good week for Tevin Brown. Last 2 games. 33 sitting on 22.
Yeah. The efficiency.
That's an offensive foul. Cambridge using that offhand. That'll be a foul against Cambridge, and that'll be his second.
If you have got a rim protector like Walker Kessler, who does the dirty work with rim protection, then you've got to reward him on the other end. That's exactly what the Tigers do. Kessler delivers on both ends.
Don't be shy now. Like the prime cut. I love my gold jacket, but that Aflac blue feels so right.
When you feel right, you coach right.
I know that's right. Prime never believed in double coverage, but health insurance in Aflac is money.
Must be money.
And I know how Coach Prime feels about money.
Aflac.
Now that is what this jacket needs.
Must be money.
Get help with expenses health insurance doesn't cover at Aflac.com.
The holidays are in full swing, and you can feel the magic in the air.
Especially at T-Mobile.
Let's go to Diane.
Can you tell us what's happening?
Yeah, I got the awesome new iPhone 13 Pro and AirPods, and T-Mobile's paying for them both. Oh, and I get a free year of Apple TV Plus.
Upgrade to the iPhone 13 Pro and AirPods, both on us, only at T-Mobile.
And this is for new and existing T-Mobile and Sprint customers, like me. Back to you.
Hey.
Hello?
We're going to T-Mobile.
Those old shirts smelled as funky as they looked. At Cricket, we re-engineered vintage style. Softer fabrics, modern fits. Old school done better.
Some more great basketball on tap as we got undefeated LSU. Darius Days just joined the 1,000-point career club for the Tigers. 19 minutes until they're down at the PMAC. Remember, Tigers one of 6 undefeated teams, and see if that continues rolling on.
All right, PB. Thank you much. By the way, Kentucky up 82-54. Under 4 to go on that one. Hey, time for our celebration moment brought to you by Allstate. And how about the half-court heave with the shot clock winding down by Wendell Green Jr., who has had a big-time second half here. 4 of 4 from the field, and this was included.
You would think that kind of shot would be at the end of a half. There was 13 minutes to go in the half when he launched that. He's still trying to explain it.
And Jabbar's like, but I was wide open underneath.
You know what he's saying right now? He's saying, I have told everybody I have got deep range.
Nice double-double for Green, 13 and 10. Devin Brown. Another little one-handed shot off the backboard, doesn't go down.
Another block shot for Auburn.
Wide open for Williams, won't go. You know, Kentucky and Auburn both had these scary games. I know Kentucky's was a late ad with Western Kentucky.
Right.
But the Hilltoppers, very good club under Rick Stansbury. Murray State, obviously 10-1, top 50 in the net. These are tough games to play. Coach Brule's kind of brushing it off, but you've been in this business. You know how these kids around Christmas time can maybe lose focus a little bit.
There's no question they start smelling the fire burning and want to get home. One of the interesting things to me, you mentioned Kentucky and Auburn. I think people tend to forget that Kentucky played a lot of games without Ware, without Toppin. They weren't healthy. Well, Bruce Pearl is just now getting Flanagan back tonight. So in some ways, from an get healthy, stay healthy perspective, Kentucky and Auburn are tied at the hip.
Under 3 minutes to go. Here's Williams. Here's Hannibal now after the save by Brown. And there it is. We have seen that more than once in Trey Hannibal's career, the offensive charge.
Yeah, I said this in the first half. He's such an aggressive player. It's a fine line between being aggressive and out of control. Tried to Euro step. And I think most players now, Dave, are kind of defensively anticipating the Euro step. But again, stop, play off 2 feet, shoot your little floater.
K.D. Johnson. Collins with a pass inside to McMullen, who was fouled on the. He'll head to the free throw line. Collins is a guy right there, 13 in blue. They got to get him going. He transferred in from Davidson, where he was a double-figure scorer the last 2 years. He's sitting at 5 points a game, and Coach McMahon telling us they need him to. He needs to be that double-figure guy for them.
Yeah, he's had serious shooting struggles, just 25% from the arc. Where at Davidson a year ago, he made 38% from bonus land. But he's got a ton of experience playing in his 122nd game. And you're right, Dave. They need more from him.
He had 18 points, 4 rebounds, 4 steals against Auburn last year when Davidson played the Tigers. But tonight, Collins, just 3 points. KD lost the handle. Tigers will back it out. Shot clock at 9. Williams will try again from behind the arc. He's much better around the rim tonight. He hadn't missed around the rim.
It was a wide open look, though. And when the game gets like this, Dave, you know, my sense of assists go way down. In other words, let it fly.
Yeah. Well, our women's basketball doubleheader next Thursday will feature the top-ranked team in the country, South Carolina, in Missouri to take on the Tigers, 7 Eastern. And then it's 23rd ranked Texas A&M hosting Vanderbilt and College Station. Both games are right here on the SEC Network and, of course, the ESPN app. Conference play is upon us. Can't wait. And on the men's side, it is going to be some kind of race, not just for a championship, but really the top 4 seeds to get the double bye in the tournament. There's going to be a ton of games that are very meaningful in 2022.
Well, we showed you earlier the LSU gauntlet that they run. Well, guess where that gauntlet starts? Right on the floor you're looking at. Wednesday night, next Wednesday night.
And, of course, the Tigers at home in that opener against LSU. And they're on the road at South Carolina. That'll be a fun one, January 11th at Alabama. What do you make of Alabama right now? I mean, you've talked a little bit about them, but obviously very highly thought of. But the last 2 or 3 games, they've just been really out of sync.
Well, I don't think they've been great with the ball in there. In other words, the guy with the ball hasn't necessarily made great decisions. And they've taken a step back defensively, and we knew they were going to. You're not going to replace Herb Jones. You're just not.
You can't.
John Petty became a much better defender later in his career.
1 minute remaining.
Nice spin move by McMullen.
Yeah, that's a power move there. All right, now let's get somebody a shot that hasn't played a whole lot. Look for your shot right now. No need to pass it around.
Let Chris Moore get one up. His minutes probably going to be reduced with Flanagan back in the rotation now.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
Auburn has, before we get out of here, this is worth noting. I don't want to let this one slide by. Auburn has 11 block shots tonight. They were first in the nation with 7.4 per game coming in.
Now that average isn't going down, is it? And Dave, while I have a chance, partner, Merry Christmas and have a great holiday.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Same to you and the entire Wise family. I know you'll head back and see the grandkids after this one, and certainly wish all of our viewers out there a wonderful holiday season and Merry Christmas to all those folks as well. Auburn gets an early Christmas gift with a 71-58 win over Matt McMahon's Murray State Racers, and to push the non-conference home winning streak to 39 games. Couple of double-doubles. Green with 13 points and 10 rebounds. Jabari Smith with a dozen and 10 as well, as Auburn wins this one by 13 points, and they now go to 11-1. Their winning streak at 8. Murray State at 10-2. So for my partner, Mark Wise, the rest of our exceptional SEC Network crew, I'm Dave Neal saying so long. And Peter Burns, Merry Christmas as we send it to you.
Merry Christmas to you as well, Dave Neal. Merry Christmas to LSU fans down in the PMAC. 9 minutes away till Efton Reed. The undefeated LSU Tigers take on Lipscomb. Of course, Efton has been fantastic. 16 points a game, him and Darius Days. A great 1-2 punch. We'll see if they can remain one of the 6 undefeated teams in college hoops right now. We'll get you ready. Mike Morgan and Pat Bradley going to be on the call. Until then, you're hanging out with us. And Bruce Pearl is going to be joining us in a couple of minutes. I'm Peter Burns. That is Andrea Carter. How about that win for the Tigers, and how about that crowd as well?
Well, the crowd is so exciting. And you have to think for Auburn, they play this LSU team next week, right? So you want to get a win the right way. You want to get a win that's crisp, that's efficient, that has everybody involved. And you also want to have a good defensive showing, and they did that tonight. Can't say enough about Walker Kessler. The impact that he makes on the defensive end is unreal.
For when you look at Kessler, too, it almost feels like we overlook him some point because he's become the status quo, and especially over this last week and now this 8-game winning streak. Although now you start seeing a team that's going to add Alan Flanagan. We'll talk to Coach Perlin about this a little bit. How do you manage 11 guys going into 12 and managing those minutes?
Well, one thing is I was just watching this game. My voice just cracked. Did you hear that?
One thing. Excited
I did. Because, I got excited because they're all excited for each other. It looks like they have good chemistry.
All right, so I asked that question. Well, why don't we ask it to the head coach right there, Coach Bruce Pearl. Great to talk to you, Bruce. Hey, what was better, the rotation and the play tonight, or that amazing crowd right before the holidays?
Well, I don't know, Peter. They're both pretty satisfying. It is the season, right? And so we gave an opportunity to give our fans back a little bit of love. But I just want to, given the season right now, I just want to remind people that we're blessed. And for those of us that are blessed, we need to share and share with as many others that aren't as blessed. Man, just go out of your way and do something special for folks at this time of the year. And now, I like my team, like you guys said, they like playing together.
Coach, you talk about being blessed, and as someone who loves defense, watching your team play is an absolute blessing. Murray State's averaging 86 points per game coming in tonight. You hold them well below that. How would you describe the defensive energy of your guys out there on the court?
Andrea, thanks for noticing that you're right. I mean, 86 points, 6th in the nation. But defense and rebounding win championships. That's the foundation of what we do. And, what we do is we just try to make it difficult for them to run their stuff. And if you let Murray State get to their spots, Matt is an outstanding coach, particularly on the offensive end. And they're going to get what they want. And so dangerous club. They were like 40 in the net. So it's a really good. Right now it's a quad 1 win for us.
And you look at that about, hey, these guys like playing as a team. Alan Flanagan, great to see the crowd respond when he went in. 12 minutes. What's the plan to get him ready for SEC play starting?
Well, 12 minutes and then 16 minutes and then, work his way up a little bit, Peter. I thought Al did really, really well. And I think the things that Al does will help us. The way he can break defenses down, the way he can physically score inside. You get to the foul line, you can count on him there. And he's a physical defender. But I think the biggest thing is our guys, we've improved a lot in December. And if we're going to get into January and be successful in the SEC, and I say if, we just got to keep on improving. We got to do a better job of executing on the offensive end and sharing the ball a little bit. I don't think we shot a very good percentage tonight, and we're going to have to do a better job with that once league play starts next week.
Coach, I'm so interested because you have such a deep team. And like we said, it looks like they have so much fun playing together. But how do you, as the head coach, keep all the guys happy and decide who's going to go out on the court when you have so much talent?
Yeah, I just think you're honest. Recruit them the right way. Don't give them. Be honest with them and let them know where they are and why they're where they're at. Get them to play hard and get them to play unselfishly, and let them know that when we as a team are successful, you as an individual are going to benefit far more than if you as an individual are successful but the team fails. And then the guys that aren't playing the roles that they want to right now, and there are several of them, you got to stay right and ready. We're going to get foul trouble. We're going to get an injury. What's your attitude going to be when you're not starting or you're not in the regular rotation? But look, right now we're playing 10 guys. And so that does tend to make for a happier locker room.
I was going to say, last one, real quick one for you. Look over your left shoulder. You see the guy in overalls? Can I get you to do that in your holiday season overalls? Is that a good look?
That was my look in college, Peter. That was my look in college, except I went overalls, no shirt underneath it. Now, we're never going to do that again. My wife has said, honey, America has seen quite enough of this body, so you're not going to get an opportunity to see that ever again.
I don't know about it. I saw it at a football game. It could happen.
That was it.
Hey,
that's it.
Show the six-pack, Coach.
Go enjoy the holidays and go enjoy the win with your guys. Merry Christmas to you as well. There it is, 71-58. Auburn Tigers having fun. It's a shame. One of these days we're going to get Bruce Pearl out of his comfort zone and have, ultimately, though, this adds another remarkable team to the SEC as you see how Alabama's playing, how Arkansas playing, boot up right now with how LSU basketball is playing.
Well, I think this is going to be such a fun season for SEC basketball, right? Just competitive, hard-nosed, gritty. These teams are talented, they're tough, and I think that they play really well together, right? When you think about Alabama, when you think about LSU, when you think about this Auburn team, there's a lot of chemistry that I see, and it's not even conference time yet. Yeah. I think these teams are blending really well together. But I love what Coach Bruce Pearl just said about being honest with his guys, having them ready, and if you don't like your role, what's your attitude like right now? He seems like he's got a really good grasp on his team.
And the difference, too, is a couple years ago, it was about Auburn scoring 100. Eric Musselman's squads, Nate Oates, even Will Wade's squad, and we see a lot more of a defensive-minded team. They just beat Murray State, and now we start spinning it forward for Will Wade's squad. This team looks completely different, and they actually look more dominant as a basketball team playing defensive-style basketball than scoring 80, 90 points a game.
Well, I think that's kind of the best thing is when you play defense, it takes less pressure. It takes the pressure off your offense, right? So you're not feeling as much pressure to score and run and put points up on the board because you know on the back end you can get a defensive stop, right? So if I'm a shooter on Alabama or Auburn or LSU on any of those teams and I miss one, that's okay because there's value in defense as well, right? Not all the value is on offense.
That's harder to sell to players now in this world when everybody's scoring, a bajillion points. I mean, I know Conzo Martin's struggled with it. Even one of the reasons why Frank Martin's brought his offense into scoring a little bit more of an offensive part. Which, by the way, when you see that highlight of what South Carolina did earlier today, you'll love it. Overall, what do you want to see? Anything in particular from LSU in this one?
Well, I think this is a game that LSU should win, right? Like Lipscomb, they've dealt with some injuries. But how LSU can win this game, you want to see them dominate on the glass. They have an advantage as far as rebounding goes. And Lipscomb is a decent three-point shooting team. I want to see that LSU defense limit the threes and the looks that Lipscomb gets from beyond the arc.
Lipscomb. It's so weird to say. By the way, boot up. The General about to go to work. They're excited there in the PMAC, and right now, one of 6 teams in all of college hoops, maybe one of 5, because if you look at what Arizona's doing, they may fall to Tennessee. Mike Morgan, Pat Bradley, they're wearing ugly sweaters, but here's some good basketball.
See, as we speak, this list might get more narrow as the night progresses. Arizona, Baylor, and there's LSU ranked number 3 currently in the net rankings. Will Wade has himself another great squad in Baton Rouge, maybe the best. We shall see. And with that, we say hello and welcome. He is the shooter, Pat Bradley. I am Mike Morgan. Pat, good to see you as always. Great to see this LSU team find their way, losing 3 pros from last year's squad, another NCAA tournament team under Coach Wade. And when you look at this squad, we've got some returning names and then some newcomers that have made a profound impact already.
Well, we'll see 3 guys tonight who are in different roles. Darius Days, who was known as the glue man last year. This year, he's averaging 14 points a game, big part of their offense, as well as Xavier Pinson, transfer from Missouri, leads the team 4.5 assists per game, but it's the 7-foot freshman, Efton Reed III, who's made a giant impact, no pun intended. He's averaging just under 10 points a game.
He gives them some rim protection.
Yeah, okay, we can intend it for you there. Okay.
Absolutely. Christmas right around the corner. Puns are welcome. Put that under the tree as well and gift wrapped it. So far, the biggest gift for Will Wade's squad, Pat, has been this year they defend. Every team that Will Wade has had in the past scores a lot of points. This year's team is actually playing suffocating defense.
Well, they are. They're number 1 in the SEC in steals, number 1 in defensive rebounds, number 1 in defensive field goal percentage, and number 1 in points allowed at 53 points a game. They've got great length. They've got that mentality, and this team understands what it is that their strength is, right? They know they have to defend, get up in transition.
They have done that extremely well. Again, number 1 in the country in field goal percentage. Defense, they'll be going up against the Lipscomb starting 5 that at times can get hot from outside, and that's certainly going to be the recipe for pulling off an upset if they're able to do it. They're led by Jacob Ognakevich. And meanwhile for LSU, Xavier Pinson, you'll recognize from his days at Mizzou, a big-time transfer for them running the point. Darius Days, a 1,000-point scorer for the LSU Tigers. He is their rock, the senior out of Raleigh, Florida. LSU is in white, Lipscomb in gray, and we are ready to go. Mike Nance, Chuck Jones, Josue Nieves, our officiating crew. LSU trying to make it a perfect 12-0 on the young season as we inch closer and closer to conference play. Pinson out to Days on a triple. Darius Days came in shooting 35% from downtown, and they like him shooting it from deep.
Will Wade told us today, I got a feeling about Darius Days, and he was right. Darius Days started out the first game in this season. 8 threes, 8 made threes in the first half. Shooting it better than he ever has in his career.
Lipscomb misfires on a 3, and here comes LSU. On the drive, little Euro step and the bucket. That's the talented freshman out of Baltimore, Brandon Murray.
And you see LSU right away get into that 3-quarter pressure. They'll do it. They'll run a 2-2-1, a 1-3-1, man-to-man. So a little pressure in the front court, back to that man-to-man defense.
As you've watched this LSU team early on, what stands out to you about the defensive improvement?
Well,
now that would not be a great time to say that. That was a wide open 3 for Will Pruitt. But outside of that play, what's it been, Pat?
That's what Lipscomb's going to do. What I was going to say was there was nothing easy against this LSU team. They've got great length, anticipation, communication. So to make shots, you've had to make tough 2s against them. Because they are the number 1 3-point defensive team, too, in the SEC.
Yeah, they have been
losing a man in the corner right there. That's poor communication.
That was the second time. Will Wade's bunch fortunate that it's a turnover. Will Wade now in his 5th season, 4 NCAA tournament appearances. Of course, when he was at VCU, led that program to a couple of NCAA tournaments. He said this actually reminds him a bit of the way they played and won games at VCU. They grinded out a little bit more than some of his other teams at LSU. Backdoor cut, and that's an and one. Off balance, legs cut out. Brandon Murray still gets the hoop and the harm.
What's impressed me also is these freshmen, Brandon Murray being one of them. As a freshman, you come in, you got to learn the intensity. That backdoor cut right there, yeah, as a high IQ player, you may do that in high school. But have the presence of mind and comfortable to be able to do that as a freshman at the next level and to get freshmen to play defense, that's part of it.
When I asked Will Wade about Brandon Murray, he said, well, all you need to know is he's leading us in minutes played per game. That's because I trust him. He's one of the most reliable and dependable freshmen I've ever coached. LSU with an early 5-point lead, 2.5 minutes into the action. Driving layup, blocked by Brandon Murray.
So to add to that, Mike, it's about staying in front of the basketball. As you see Coach right there, fantastic job he's done, losing his best player this year, by the way.
Yeah, he actually is hoping to get that best player, Hassan Asajala, who came in as one of the top players in the A-Sun, suffered a knee injury, meniscus. They hope to have him back in January. If he was in this game, remember they blew out Dayton earlier this year when he was in the lineup? Lipscomb's a dangerous team. They were in the NCAA tournament 3 years ago, made it to the NIT championship game 2 years ago. So while some people are still learning about Lipscomb, there you see Asajala, what they're missing with him. He's a double-double machine. And again, they should have him back for conference play. But this is a program out of Nashville, not too far from where Will Wade grew up, as a matter of fact, that has really had some terrific moments, and now they're hoping to have more with Lenny Acuff, who did a terrific job at the Division II level.
And he has changed a lot of how Lipscomb plays offense because he's such a presence in the paint. You got to respect that, throw double team at him, and you play a lot of inside-out basketball. You see right there, the challenge is LSU is so good at keeping the ball in front of them. And Lipscomb, they don't have anybody to throw it on the post with to create that inside-out three-point shot.
LSU is so long and they deflect so many passes. There's Pinson on a blow-by. You and I saw him do that many times at Mizzou.
We did, and Will Wade came into the league in the SEC and said, I am going to recruit length on the perimeter. He understood how important it was to be able to defend the three-point shot, to be able to get in passing lanes defensively.
There's a steal by Murray. That's
long perimeter guys.
Third turnover on the Bisons, and that sets up a straight-on three by Efton Reed. It's only his second three of the year, but Will Wade telling us he's got the green light.
He does. He's got a soft touch. And I've told you the PMAC is a great place to shoot. The 7-footer agrees.
On the feed from Pinson, it's a two-hand flush from Awani Wilkinson. 10-point lead. Deep three. No. Flying in for the rebound is Darius Days. And Pinson will direct traffic under 16 minutes to go in the first half. Pinson. Back out. Wide open three. Left short that time by Murray. Three from Lipscomb. Pops out. Don't know if this is the pace that Lipscomb wants with LSU.
No, unless they're making threes, they don't mind this pace, but they're not doing that.
LSU is reining them. That's the second for Days. What did Will Wade tell us? He said, guys, I got a feeling. I'm usually right about this. I got Darius Days on the over-under. Take over 4. He's already hit 2 in the first 5 minutes. LSU with a barrage.
And they're getting in the passing lanes. Mawani, I want it above the rim. Wilkinson, pour an easy 2.
The holidays are in full swing, and you can feel the magic in the air.
Especially at T-Mobile.
Let's go to Diane.
Can you tell us what's happening?
Yeah, I got the awesome new iPhone 13 Pro and AirPods, and T-Mobile's paying for them both. Oh, and and I get a free year of Apple TV Plus.
Upgrade to the iPhone 13 Pro and AirPods, both on us, only at T-Mobile.
And this is for new and existing T-Mobile and Sprint customers, like me. Back to you.
Hey.
Hello?
We're going to T-Mobile.
Here we go, Billy. Swing hard, buddy.
At Auto Owners Insurance, we know you. We know every Saturday your son Billy plays Little League. We sponsor his team. And we know you love parking way too close to the field. That's why we tailor a unique policy for you and your car. Because sometimes something from out of left field can literally come from out of left field. That's simple human sense. Ask your independent agent if Auto Owners makes sense for you. Hey, Billy.
Those old shirts smelled as funky as they looked. At Cricket, we re-engineered vintage style. Softer fabrics. Modern fits. Old school done better.
Solid start for LSU basketball. Those Tigers looking good. How about these Missouri Tigers? No Connor Bazelak. Brady Cook says, Army, this is how you run the option. 30 yards. Scampers. Tigers up 7-0.
Peter, thanks. Eli Drinkwitz got a good recruiting class so far for Missouri as well. There's a guy that's been recruiting awfully well since he arrived on campus. And a great start to the season, 11-0 for LSU. And you look at what they've done so far in this game, Pat. No lack of energy for this matchup.
No, athletically, Lipscomb is struggling to stay with LSU at every position. They're more athletic. They're shooting the ball well tonight. And more importantly, they're getting out into passing lanes. Mike, this is not a Festivus miracle for Will Wade. He expected this. But his guys are clicking. We talked to him how the game before Christmas, you don't know what you're going to get. Sometimes the guys are thinking about the Christmas ham. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I know you
I
would
certainly
be
was.
back in the day. You see that. You saw
the
that
Feast
graphic.
of the Seven Fishes is what we do, Mike. Feast
Well, there
of
you
the
go.
Seven Fishes.
Something we can all look forward to. LSU fans can look forward to more great defense. 4 turnovers, 10 points off turnovers. And that is something when we talk with Coach Acuff, and look, it's Lipscomb plays a lot of these types of games. They're no stranger to playing Power 5, Power 6 opponents. But he said, guys, this defense is extraordinary because they're so long. They deflect passes on the regular, and they're just tough to get shots up. Our only chance is if we hit a bunch of threes, and you look at what happened recently. Davidson upsets Alabama 12-3. Samford over Ole Miss 13 threes. That's the kind of performance Lipscomb is going to have if they have any chance of upsetting undefeated LSU.
The three-point shot is the great equalizer. There's no doubt a team that is not as athletic, fast, big can stay in it if they can get shots up. However, the difference with LSU is they're number 1 defensively in the nation. They're not going to give you easy shots. You have to make tough shots. You got to take tough shots and make tough shots against this defense. Not a lot of teams out there can do it.
A step-back three. A little bit ill-advised, perhaps, for Eric Gaines, who came in shooting a less than torrid 14% from downtown. And that leads to an easy stuff on the other end. The first basket for Ognakovich, who is a guy that is coming off a 35-point performance for the Bisons and really has emerged as a potential star in the ASUN this year. And a rare mistake by Eric Gaines on the turnover. Now you take a look at that defense. They've held every opponent to 65 points or fewer. Most efficient defensive team in the nation, according to our friends at Ken Palm. Number 1 in opposing field goal percentage, 33%. Number 2 in the country in steals at 12.6. That's a lot of heavy artillery in the stats, and sometimes those numbers can be a little bit skewed. But I mean, they haven't played the most daunting schedule, but it's been strong enough to know through 11 games, that's a pretty good indicator that their defense should be legit this year. Days feeling it. Back iron that time, and the rebound tracked down by K.J. Johnson.
Well, in Lipscomb, the buckets they have scored have been wide open. Where somebody got lost at the three-point line, you had a guy the previous possession get lost underneath the basket for an easy dunk. So it's difficult to score against this LSU length. We know they're athletic, they're long. It's going to be the communication. I think throughout the year, what could be a challenge would be the communication, because when they're one-on-one defensively, they got you.
Now, I know in conversations past with Will Wade, who's very upfront with us behind the scenes, he had a couple of guys the last 2 years that, quite frankly, were not the most dedicated defenders. That is not an issue this year. There's a blow-by, and then there's a follow-up stuff. Flying in is Parker Hazen.
If I could score like those previous guys he had, I wouldn't be thinking about defense either.
But that's really the difference.
LSU,
LSU's always had the firepower. They're going to score 80 a night, even against good teams in the SEC. But you got to defend if you're going to make a deep run in the NCAA tournament. And this team appears to be a more willing defensive team. Deep three on the way, and so far Lipscomb just 1 of 5 from behind the arc. Not exactly the recipe for an upset tonight.
And to add to that, Mike, is they got a great combination. You have Eric Gaines, Xavier Pinson. They can defend the ball baseline to baseline. You have Efton Reed, Tari Eason, Darius Days, your 4s and 5s, and then you also have Alex Fudge. We talked about Brandon Murray. Those guys can defend the perimeter. So really good, versatile set of guys.
Foul on the perimeter. That's going to go against K.J. Johnson. Since you mentioned him, Pat Bradley, and since we have not mentioned him yet in this game, Tari Eason, there's a reason for that. Tari Eason, their leading scorer who comes off the bench but averages over 16 points a game, tweaked something we were told in pregame, so he will not be a go in this game tonight. We didn't hear anything about it being overly serious, but enough to where he will not be in action tonight. So we were going to brag quite a bit about that young man, transfer from Cincinnati, who came in averaging over 16 points, 7.5 rebounds a game. And when you hear Will Wade talk about Tari Eason, he just gushes about how good that young man is.
And apologies to his family and friends. We did have about 3 sheets of stuff that we're going to talk about, Tari.
Sometimes things just don't go to plan as we had hoped. So far, everything going to plan for LSU. They're up big with 12 to play.
Academy Sports and Outdoors has the gifts to make this your most fun Christmas ever. From game tables and grills to apparel and sneakers, we've got everybody covered this holiday. Merry Christmas from everyone at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Introducing the first stain worthy of the yellow tag. Yellowwood Protector Stain and Sealer. Powerful protection for your deck. Available in pre-mixed grab-and-go cans. Find a Yellowwood dealer near you.
Tiramisu? Ooh, tiramisu. Or save up and eat tiramisu in Italy. Okay, Little Italy. Autumn in New York. The lights of Broadway. Wait, did I pay the light bill? Yeah. No, I paid it. Didn't I? Wait, no. Yes. What? Huh. Regions. Tiramisu.
87% of people think about money all the time. Regions' convenient new ways to track your transactions make it easier to get back to the moment.
SEC Network Basketball is brought to you by T-Mobile, the leader in 5G. Baton Rouge General Hospital Christmas lights, beautiful scenics around town. Everybody in a festive mood for the holiday season. The final game for many teams before the Christmas holiday, and LSU. Their time getting ready with players giving back to the community. This is at a local Walmart, and players from the LSU squad shopping for some of the young boys and girls around the neighborhood, getting them toys and various necessary items for the upcoming holidays. Always great to see, Patrick, when you've got players that realize there are things bigger than basketball. Activities like this give it so much perspective.
Most of the time, if not all the time, the players are appreciative of having the opportunity to go out into the community. A lot of them have young brothers, sisters, cousins, so they can relate to those youngsters in the community. And quite frankly, a lot of them weren't in that position too. And very humble beginnings for a lot of the players.
No question. It's also not a bad chemistry builder as well. I think you find out a lot about the people that you play with, what kind of person they are when you're able to give back to the community. And so many of the programs that you and I get to cover do just that right around the time of the holiday season. So far, the biggest gift for LSU has been more of that great defense. They have really stymied the Lipscomb offense, which has been held to 27% from the floor. Meanwhile, LSU offensively, 54%. And again, doing all this without their leading scorer, Tari Eason, the transfer from Cincinnati, out for today's ball game. This is Alex Fudge, unable to connect at the free throw line. Talented freshman out of Jacksonville, Florida.
And you see that half court 1-3-1. That right there has caused more havoc in the SEC since Will Wade has been there, since anything I can think of.
Drive to the basket, and drawing the foul is Parker Hazen.
And that's a good example of, to me, it looked like Brandon Murray had him. You didn't have to reach in. He was in front of him. He was caught. He created a tough, difficult shot. A running left-hander, okay, through the lane. Now you reach in, foul, put him in free throw line, good free throw shooter.
It's the fourth team foul on LSU. Efton Reed picked up those early 2 fouls, so he's been on the bench for a good portion of the early going of the first half. LSU up by 8 with the basketball. One of 6 undefeated teams left in college basketball. Another one of those trailing Tennessee as we speak. That's going to be an over-the-back foul on Darius Days.
We've talked about LSU and how impressive they are defensively. We talked about how offensively they do a bunch of different things. Darius Days shooting the 3, Efton Reed the 3rd on the block, Pinson attacking, but they still get on the glass, Mike Morgan. They still can beat you on that offensive glass. They've always done an excellent job of that, and they continue to do it.
No whistle. Hunting a foul was KJ Johnson on that 3-point attempt. Missed everything.
Matter of fact, LSU is right under 35% offensive rebound percentage. That's good for 31st in the country. Out of 352, that's not bad.
Yeah. Well, I've always been a big rebound margin guy. How many more are you getting than your opponents? And they're at +8 on the season. I mean, you combine that, they're winning the glass, they're defending better than a long time that we've seen, and they shoot it well because they've got good offensive power. There's Pinson on a steal, and that'll be knocked out of bounds to LSU.
And it helps that your point guard, Xavier Pinson's got a 2-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio and taking care of the ball. Matter of fact, Will Wade said that he wouldn't mind seeing a little bit more offensive aggressiveness.
Yeah.
From Xavier.
He actually, that's right. He actually said he'd like to see Xavier shoot the ball a little bit more, be a little more aggressive. That's a far cry from what we used to hear at Mizzou. Different role with this LSU squad. And he's getting the job done, as you mentioned, from an assist-to-turnover ratio standpoint. Deep 3, and that's, again, what Lipscomb is going to have to do to stay in this game. That's Caleb Coleman. 8-0 run by the Bisons.
And they'll make some, Mike. They make 9 a game.
Whoa. Eric Gaines. That ball hit above the square before dropping down to the hoop.
It was a nice creative shot. high off the glass.
Kicked out of bounds, LSU ball.
So Eric Gaines, we just saw him passing out gifts to the youngsters. Nice little herky-jerky move in the lane. Soft touch. It is better to give than receive, Mike. You'll be happy to know that the mail will run all week here at my house. So if your gift is a little behind, pal, it'll get here on time. It'll get here.
You didn't send it post office, did you?
No.
Please give me a tracking number next time. That's a block foul in the cylinder is the call, or in the restricted arc area for Lipscomb, the indication from our officiating crew. That's 5 team fouls now for each side with 9:37 to go in the first half. These two teams have never met, by the way, but there is a connection with Will Wade and Lipscomb. Inside, setting up that jump hook, and that's where being 7 feet helps. No one is going to block that shot, Pat Bradley.
Well, that cut right there, the corner, we ran the flats in high school, and that was one of our cuts. From the corner, you get the screen. Efton Reed, the third, big, catches it, goes up strong. That's what impressed me about him when I first saw him early in the season. He's a throwback guy. You can get it to him on the block. He can score either hand, and he shoots a three.
Another three by the Bisons. Top floor for the rebound is Wilkinson.
And he's a willing passer. You see him posting up right there. I like that. But because he's posting and he demands that double team, Darius Days may be open in that corner.
It's a line drive three off the front iron from Pinson.
Yeah, we kind of didn't need headphones to hear that one. Legs a little fatigued, Mike. Legs are a little fatigued.
Fatigued in the first half? Well, it is near Christmas, right?
He was passing out gifts all day. Come on, give him a break.
Bisons can't buy one. They're under 30% from the field. Pinson goes to work and turned it over. Just sloppy ball handling by Xavier Pinson.
Well,
one thing Will Wade said about Pinson. I'm sorry, Pat, go ahead.
Well, they have an advantage in each position. It looks like they're struggling to figure out which one to go to. Efton Reed, the third, has got a big-time size advantage. Get him on the block, throw to him, play through him. You can do that. He's a good passer. Inside out three.
And check foul that time by Fudge, and that'll bring us to immediate timeout. LSU up by 9.
Hey, hypothetical.
Yeah.
Who wins a sumo match? A wildcat or a gator?
Gator.
What about a volunteer or a rebel?
Go Vols.
Gamecock or a commodore?
Gamecock.
Wait a minute now. You trying to tell me that a rooster can take out a high-ranking naval officer in a sumo wrestling match?
And don't forget, roosters are descended from dinosaurs. Plus, you ever tried to catch a rooster?
Nope.
They're shifty.
All right, Razorback or an Aggie?
If I'm being honest, I do not know what an Aggie is.
One car accident. Everything just fell apart. My car insurance dropped me. I got a ticket for driving uninsured, so I couldn't drive to work. Now I'm behind on the rent. What's next?
Need car insurance? A bad driving record doesn't have to stop you. Get coverage for as little as $20 down with Good to Go auto insurance and proof of insurance on the spot. Visit goodtogo.com and get things back on track. Visit goodtogo.com. That's good, the number 2, go.com.
Hi, I'm Shannon Storms-Bedour. When we started selling my health products online, our shipping process was painfully slow. Then we found ShipStation. Now we're shipping out orders 5 times faster. And thanks to ShipStation's discounted rates, we're saving a ton. Honestly, we couldn't do it without ShipStation.
Join over 100,000 online sellers who get ship done with ShipStation. Go to shipstation.com/TV and get 2 months free.
Beautiful light display at Baton Rouge General Hospital. Oh, yeah, Frosty showing some hops on the two-hand slam. Nicely done, Snowman. Holy smokes. That's more vertical leap than we saw out of Pat Bradley in 4 years in Fayetteville. Coming up on Thursday, it's number 1 South Carolina in Missouri to take on the Tigers at 7 Eastern. The number 23 Texas A&M hosting Vandy in College Stations. Both games right here on the SEC Network. Another grand year of women's hoops in the Southeastern Conference. Congratulations to Dawn Staley and the Gamecocks knocking off number 2 Stanford yesterday, 65-61. That means the Gamecocks are now 13-0 and number 1 in the country. He's Pat Bradley, number 1 in your heart and mine. I'm Mike Morgan. Great to be with you on this Wednesday evening. The LSU Tigers trying to remain unblemished as well, hoping to improve to 12-0. It's their best start in about 21 years to go to 11-0, so they'll try to continue to climb that mark. They've got a pretty stout conference opening game against Bruce Pearl and the Auburn Tigers, who won earlier in convincing fashion right here in the first part of our doubleheader tonight on the SEC Network. Gotta love Jabari Smith, Pat Bradley. He is a special-looking player.
6'10", can shoot it, put it on the ground, finish at the rim. And he's fluid. He's a fluid athlete at 6'10". I played against his father when he played at LSU, Jabari Smith. His pops was a heck of a player. Heck of a player.
Yes, he was.
I don't
Some
think
of those
he'd be
LSU
upset.
teams were awfully good.
Yes. I think his son's a little bit better at this stage. A little bit better. Little zone. Coach Will Wade thought he was going to get a lot of zone. Lipscomb throws that zone there, and you just see the effort. It's tough, man. That's just outmatched there under the paint, but you got to take advantage of it.
And that's the second effort by Alex Fudge, who rebounded his own miss, the freshman from Jacksonville, Florida. Tough shot in traffic.
It was tough. If they can make some of those and make some threes, you got a chance.
Nakovic with a beautiful shot, and then there's LSU with the response, a 3 from Wani Wilkinson, a sophomore out of Las Vegas, Nevada. He's hitting 39% from behind the arc. We're talking about where LSU ranks. How about Auburn? How about Tennessee, Alabama, and Kentucky? These are the net rankings. There's so many polls now. I know it can be confusing, but when it comes to the most relevant one, this really is where it's at. This is what the NCAA Tournament Committee will spend most of its time looking at in terms of polls. And there you see 3 SEC teams in the top 10. You've got Alabama. You've got Kentucky. It is another loaded year in the Southeastern Conference. And right now, Tennessee's still up on Arizona. We'll keep you posted on that score. I know Peter Burns and company will have stats and highlights of all the action today. Kentucky with another win. Murr at the free throw line. Too strong and into the hands of Efton Reed III. Murr, who missed the free throw, averaged 45 points a game his final year in high school in Athens, Alabama, Lindsay Lane Christian School.
Did you say 45 points a game?
45 a game.
Well, in the meantime, Efton Reed III just made a fantastic post move right there, finished with his left hand. I love getting to the big fella, use his size.
Nakovic responds on the other end for Lipscomb, hanging around. 9-point game as we flirt with the 6-minute mark. There's a triple team on Reed. Pinson is the benefactor. Missed it. Tapped around. No. And finally tracked down by Coleman.
That's the value of having a big fella who accepts the double team, knows what to do with it. Spacing was a little off, though, with LSU on that.
Another good look for Will Pruitt, just left it short. Pinson, step back 3. Oh, goodness, okay. Xavier Pinson showing us a little something on that move.
Yeah, that's the aggressiveness that Coach Wade was talking about. Want him to, in that situation, felt it in rhythm. Not going to be happy with that, though.
That's Tommy Murr. You don't average 45 points a night in high school without having some moves, Pat Bradley.
Well, and the other thing, too, you can't be afraid, right? I mean, I'm sure he's heard all about LSU's defense, their top defense, but you've got to take it to him. Coach Acuff talked about that, how he's going to send a message to his players early on that we're not afraid.
Offensive foul. That's the third on Efton Reed, the third.
Ooh! Little step back. Did he go backwards between the legs? That's catching it in rhythm, on balance. You see how when he did that, though, it was a right to left between the legs, but he gathered himself. Feet were set, balance was there, good follow through. It wasn't falling backwards.
When I think of Xavier Pinson's time at Missouri, we're going to have a jump ball. Yes, we are.
Good hands.
And the arrow goes to Lipscomb. Yep.
He is a ball hawk. Remember we used to say ball hawk back in the day?
We still do,
bring that one back. We do?
Oh,
I haven't heard.
Yes,
we're
declaring it right now on December the 22nd. Ball hawking is a very acceptable and encouraged term the rest of the season. You heard it here first. Yeah, that was a term never used to describe Pat Bradley at Arkansas.
No.
Ball shooter,
although
not ball hawk.
We did appreciate high intense defense. That's what I love, and that's what I love about this LSU team too, is they accept that aggressive defensive style.
Pinson. Well, Will Wade told us he wants Pinson to be more aggressive. He's been awfully aggressive in this first half. Pinson now with 8 points. In transition, easy basket for Murray and a timeout by Lipscomb. Largest lead for LSU of 15 points.
Eric Gaines running that. Ooh, nice bounce pass. How about the catch and finish? LSU up 15.
Some of my fondest childhood memories are from volunteering with my grandmother. Helping others was her passion. She'd always say, the sweetest fruits of life come from serving others. And she was right.
At Shelter Insurance, we strive to make a positive impact in the communities where we work and live. For your auto, home, and life, find an agent at shelterinsurance.com.
The holidays are in full swing, and you can feel the magic in the air.
Especially at T-Mobile.
Let's go to Diane.
Can you tell us what's happening?
Yeah, I got the awesome new iPhone 13 Pro and AirPods, and T-Mobile's paying for them both. Oh, and I get a free year of Apple TV Plus.
Upgrade to the iPhone 13 Pro and AirPods, both on us, only at T-Mobile.
And this is for new and existing T-Mobile and Sprint customers, like me. Back to you.
Hey.
Hello?
We're going to T-Mobile.
We picture the student athlete for the scoop, the handle, the wraparound. But let's picture them for more. For the charity worker, the youth camp founder, the design major, for the singer, for the role model, for the ages. More than students, more than athletes.
What's up, y'all? Peter Burns, Andrea Carter. Coming up at half, we'll show you Oscar Tshiebwe was monstrous for Big Blue Nation. Also, SEC bowl season starts. What are you seeing in the PMAC right now?
I see defensive energy and offensive balance. Everybody getting involved for LSU so far.
Two guys that should be cast in Home Alone 4 as the bad villains. Back to Pat Bradley and Mike Morgan.
You know, Peter, I've had worse roles in Hollywood, but that was a dark period of time.